Waddle, a sort of penguin from Timbuctoo, by Roger Hargreaves. Waddle was a sort of penguin, a Timbuctoo penguin. He lived in an igloo in Timbuctoo. As you know, penguins live in Antarctica, which is the coldest place on Earth. Waddle lived in the most coldest part of Timbuctoo, and he hated it. It made him make a particular sound. The kind of sound that sounds like this. Every morning, Waddle would wake up, nuded, get out of bed, nuded, put on his hat and gloves, nuded, wash his face, nuded, cleaned his teeth, nuded, went to his kitchen, nuded, made his breakfast, nuded, and ate his breakfast, nuded, and went to work, still nuding. I don't like this nuding all the time, eh? He complained to his friend Honk, who was a sort of seal. Yeah, why do you think that? Asked Honk. It drives me insane, eh? Replied Waddle. It seems that all I ever do is make that sound wherever I feel cold, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, went on Honk. Why don't you try wrapping up warm in bed, yeah? I tried that, but it doesn't last long, replied Waddle impatiently. Well, why don't you try taking a hot water bottle with you to bed, yeah? Suggested Honk. I haven't got any hot water, eh? Replied Waddle. Think of something else. Thought Honk. And then he added, try a hot drink of honey and lemon juice. Waddle sighed. It freezes up instantly. Well, I tried, replied Honk, and went back to North Pearl Cottage, which is where he lived, and Waddle sat on his ice-cold chair in his igloo, feeling very miserable. He sighed a deep sigh, and then newted again. Waddle then decided to go out into the cold for a long walk. I'm getting nowhere fast, he thought to himself. What would I give to be somewhere warm?
I wouldn't do that if I were you,
came a playful voice. Who said that? Asked Waddle.
It's me, the Summer Fairy,
sang the cute little playful voice again, and indeed there was a summer fairy dressed in yellow and orange. Hey, do you grant wishes, eh? Asked Waddle.
Yep,
giggled the summer fairy.
What do you have in mind?
I wish I could live somewhere warm, replied Waddle.
Huh? How come?
Asked the summer fairy. Because I hate the cold weather, replied Waddle. I'm sick to death of it. I can't do anything about it. The summer fairy looked at Waddle and said,
If you lived somewhere hot, you wouldn't survive. Let me show you.
And with a wave of her wand, she and Waddle were transported to the desert, where Spit, a sort of camel, lived. Phew! Gasped Waddle. How hot it is in the desert!
Exactly,
agreed the summer fairy.
So if you live here, you'd be sweating colds.
Maybe you're right, said Waddle. Maybe I should go back to the ice-cold tundra, unless...
Unless what?
queried the summer fairy. Unless if you could take me to somewhere else that's hot, replied Waddle. The summer fairy sighed, waved her wand again, and transported herself along with Waddle to the jungle. "Ooh, it's hot and steamy here," said Waddle, fanning himself with his hat.
You see, Waddle?
Replied the Summer Fairy.
It may be hot and dry in the desert, but it's hot and wet in the jungle.
"She's got you there, senor," replied Snore, a sort of lazy sloth. "I'm still not convinced, really," said Waddle. The Summer Fairy then transported Waddle to the outback, and how hot it was there! Waddle was hopping up and down on the hot, dusty path. "Oh, ouch! Oh!" he screamed in pain.
Now do you get it?
Asked the Summer Fairy.
Penguins don't live in such arid conditions.
"Too right, Sheila," replied Jump, who was a sort of kangaroo. Waddle was crestfallen. "Maybe you're right," he added gloomily. "Maybe penguins should live in the cold, where we do nothing but shiver." And he began to cry. The Summer Fairy then had an idea.
I'll tell you what, Waddle.
She suggested.
If I transport you back to the cold, you can have an extra special gift from me. How does that sound?
"What is it?" sniffed Waddle.
How about I give you your own personal ray of sunshine?
Waddle wasn't convinced at first, but he thought, "Well, I suppose it's better than nothing, eh?" And with that, the Summer Fairy transported him back to his igloo in the ice-cold areas of Timbuctoo.
Okay, Waddle.
Said the Summer Fairy.
Let's go outside into the cold and I'll give you your present.
Waddle did as he was told, and he and the Summer Fairy stepped outside, and the Summer Fairy granted his wish by circling her wand over his head to create his own personal ray of sunshine. It engulfed Waddle and melted the snow everywhere he went. "Oh, thank you, Summer Fairy," he said. "You're a marvel."
Hee-hee!
Giggled the Summer Fairy.
My pleasure!
And she disappeared in a puff of yellow and orange smoke. After that, Waddle went around the ice-cold landscape of the Timbuctoo tundra, and he enjoyed it so much he didn't want it to stop. Then he got tired. "Well, I better head home, eh?" he said. "I'll have fun in the sun another day." And then he went back to his igloo. However, when he got in, the sunbeams completely destroyed his igloo. "Oh, no!" wailed Waddle. "I forgot to turn off the heating! Oh!"